Hello all, we're back with another Chalk Talk with Tony. I'm your host Tmzoids, also known as Tony, and this week we have Wtpoopdani, also known as Danny. How are you doing, Danny?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for asking.
I feel like you're very sleep deprived. I'm like, where are you? What happened before this interview? But we're here now. That's what counts.
Mhm. I do apologize for that again. Okay, so I feel bad because you're like, yo, hey, we had that thing. And I'm like, I just woke up. I slept in. I'm sorry. We're
No,
here.
you're fine. You're fine. I just had to put you on the spot, get you ready for the chalk talk, the tough questions that you're gonna
Oh man,
get
I'm ready.
asked here. But I guess the first question, the obvious question is, how did you get that name? I'm guessing it stands for, like we talked about before, what the poop, Danny? How'd that all come about?
Um, it was just sort of like an IRL homie sort of joke that carried on and ended up like threw it up as my game name on Steam one night and it just stuck. It's just something that I say a lot. I say poop a lot, because I don't curse.
Okay.
Just something that I just kind of grew up not feeling comfortable with, like, cursing all the time. So that's just a personal thing. I'm always like, what the poop, and they're like, Danny, what's a poop thing? And then you know what? It kind of became um sort of a thing with my friends. It's just like, oh, poop, Dan. Okay, really? So
So just
yeah.
just one day you were just like, this is gonna be a username. You use it like all the time. I guess it's like your nickname almost.
Yeah, they're like, Danny, stop saying poop. And then I'm like, yo, I'm changing my Steam name right now. Like, are you serious? And then I was like, oh, Twitch, let's try this. And I'm like, I'll just keep this name for now. And then, what the
Just
poop?
So you're just gonna keep it, no changes. You're not gonna regret it in the future when you're like this big streamer. You're gonna be like, oh gosh, everybody knows me as Poop Danny.
You know what? I feel like it's too late. We're like past the point of no return. I'm like, I've already made this name for myself. I've established myself as that poop girl on Twitch. I'm just going to embrace it.
That's good. Actually, talking about no swearing and whatnot. Do you kind of? I know this is jumping the gun a bit. We'll talk a bit more when we get to the Twitch itself. But do you kind of structure your stream around that? I know there's a lot of streamers. A few of my streamers that I've interviewed so far are more like, very, I guess you could say PG. They don't like swears. They don't want cursing, all that jazz in their stream. Are you the same way, or?
It's really interesting because I actually don't really have, like a rule set for my chat. I just cursing isn't something that I do, and I don't get offended when other people curse. And I don't tell people like, oh, don't say this on stream or don't say this, or don't do this. In fact, like we don't permaban people right on the spot. Like we give people chances to be chill, and I'm not offended as long as people are chill. So
Eh,
I mean,
I mean, I get you. I get you. It really just depends on the streamer. Some people are like none of that at all. Some people you can say it, but I'm not gonna say it. But it's a good
I'm
rule.
like this. Yeah, I'm like, well, this is how I am. I mean, I can't judge you for who you are. You accept that I say poop all the time. You do you, and I'll do me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I guess the real question now is, when did it all start? When did you get into video games? When was it like?
Oh man, when did it all start? How far back are we looking? Are we talking about like
I
Twitch?
mean, all the way back. Like, was it family? It seems like family always plays a role. We always talk about this. It just seems like a brother sister thing, or maybe sister sister, or even family itself. Mother father was it always playing video games with somebody in the last interviews. Was it the same for you, or was it different, or?
You know what? I have like a weird sort of family background. I feel like I kind of grew up around family that was always interested in video games. When I was really young, my older cousins used to introduce me to like the newest Zelda games, um, you know, the Mario games. Every family get together, we'd all be playing games. My mom's side of the family, like my aunt, my uncle, and then they have five kids. They're a World of Warcraft family, so they're always they're just always surrounded by like games, and then I just kind of that's what I grew up really comfortable around and just stuck, liking it.
So you make it sound like it was like almost a taboo thing. Like you make it sound like most families don't like video games, which seems like the contrary from what I've seen so far. It seems like a lot of people embrace video games. There's only been, I think, one person that, their parents were like, video games. Are you kidding me? None of that in my house. I don't really embrace it. You know. So it's complete opposite then. You played a lot of games. You started with, I'm guessing, like the old Nintendo or.
Yes, it was. It's funny because I never had these consoles myself growing up, but like I said, like every time we got together with family, like they would introduce me to just new games here and there, and I never really sat down at home and like grinded out my own like s- video games until I think I started playing the Halo series, and that was the first series that I got really heavily addicted to, and I was like, whoa, okay, maybe I have a problem. But you know what? I really liked it. It was a lot of fun.
So
So that's like the first series that kind of got me hooked. Yeah.
first series, okay. So you
Yeah.
did is
It wasn't
that
until
when you say you went to these family events, is that was kind of like based on you guys would go to whatever house or wherever you were, and that's what you guys did? You played video games together, or was it like video games were just on the side kind of ordeal, just to get a better picture?
just to get like a better like understanding of this.
Mhm.
You know, our parents would kind of sit around and like, especially like Thanksgiving, like sit around, eat, and like talk about adult parent things, and then
Mhm.
kids would be like, "Yo, check this game that I just got. Like, let's go hide in this room and like just play video games for hours on end." So, we did.
So you said you were big into the Halo series. So this is the big question, the tough question that really is going to split your fans, I'm sure. Are you an
Uh-oh.
Xbox fan or a PlayStation fan?
I okay. You're right. This is gonna kill people. I'm actually the only reason why I had gotten like an Xbox 360 at all was just to continue Halo. I'm actually not much of a console player at all. Um, I know. Oh, I said it.
You
What PC master race? I appreciate console players. If I were to jump back into console, though, definitely I'd be a PlayStation fan.
really? That completely. I was like, oh, she's gonna say Xbox, all because of the Halo series, and then you're just like, oh,
Really?
PlayStation fan. Is there a reason why you're a PlayStation fan other than an Xbox fan? I mean, you got the Halo series, you had exclusive
Um,
titles for a while. What made you a Sony fan, I guess? And
I've just I've been pooped on by Xbox multiple times. In fact, I've like almost completely cut off console gaming because I was playing through when Borderlands 2 first came out. I was so hyped on it. I got it for Xbox 360, and then one day decides to just completely erase all my data like out of nowhere. So like lost everything, and I'm like, oh man, I can't even trust console anymore. Like what is this? Had no backup for it. Such a scrub. I was the scrub, not the console. just for clarification.
so,
Um, and then I've heard like better things about PlayStation, PS4.
so
So
you
right now it's only PC.
Your only PC, but if you did go back, it would be PS4, I guess. If you, so did you ever own a PlayStation, or it was just you had so many frustrations with the Xbox that you were just like, if I ever get a new console, it will be the
I guess
PlayStation.
it is a little. Sorry, I guess it is a little bit like of nostalgia too because the first, I guess my own console that I had was the first PlayStation. It was like OG PlayStation. Um, so I remember playing
Okay.
was it? Yeah. There's like just a bunch of like old games we used to play, and it never pooped on me. But Xbox, when we transitioned over, you know, I had the first Xbox, had Xbox 360. Um, but
So it just erased your data? There was nothing, no red ring of death, of what I guess that's the most common
no,
thing, or just one day you
and that's
logged in.
another scary thing. Yeah, I'm also scared of that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna stop console gaming before like anything else happens. We're gonna cut it. It's pooped on me once. I don't think I could handle the what is it, the red ring of
Red ring
death.
of death, yeah, when it just doesn't turn on, load up anymore, and you gotta either like wrap it in a towel. I guess that's like the cure. You wrap it up in a towel and you melt something. I don't know, but
That just sounds terrifying. There's so many horror stories like of console gaming. I just Can't deal with that. Can't
You've
deal with that stress right now.
you've never had like a blue screen of death for the computer? You've never had any trouble with the computer or
I mean, I have, but everything that all the problems that I've come across have been like, I've been able to fix it. Um, and then when things go wrong, you just kind of like replace your computer parts and can upgrade it. You don't have to go, buy a whole new device to continue playing games that you want to play.
hmm. We'll talk about the computer building. It seems like you build your own computer from, or somewhat computer knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know some that like help me out, yes.
But before we get to that, I don't want to bounce backwards too much. But you said you're originally a PlayStation owner, original OG there, as you would call it. What is your favorite game from that console, or what game did you really play a lot that you feel like?
I am so glad you asked. There was this card game, and I may be able to think of the title off the top of my head in just a few.
Is
Actually, I'm still trying to think of the name. Maybe you know it. It was a game where you have these cars, and every car came with like a car owner that had like this crazy backstory, and then you would be able to like fight these cars,
uh, either
like
like
different
Need
power.
for Speed, you had Driver, I think, for the PlayStation, which never continued on, which was like more Grand Theft Auto like. You had Grand Theft Auto.
Grand
Uh,
Theft Auto. You know
I,
what? Yeah, OG Grand Theft Auto back in the day. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. It's funny because my uncle had like the old school Grand Theft Auto, and I was playing it for a little bit. My parents were like, "What are you playing?" Like, that's it. I'm like, parents, I'm sorry. And then like I never touched again. I think something happened. Like I don't know, I punched a cop, and they're like, "You can't play this." So I stuck with like the fighting car games. Man,
I,
I
I
can't think of it. But my brother's gonna be like coming back in just a few. I know he'll know it because we used to play it together. So,
so that was your favorite
but like,
game. Once you're thinking
it
about it,
was.
I can't think of another car game. Need for Speed isn't the one, or some kind of racing game. I don't know. Uh,
It'll come. Twisted Metal. That's
oh,
it.
oh, hey, how did I forget that one? That is with the clown
Yes.
car and the.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That was so hype. Oh my gosh. And then you would like unlock the special cars. You could like
Yes.
minion, like like I don't know, you had like Satan himself, like in a car. It was like so hyped, so up. I don't
So,
so much fun.
so if people don't know what Twisted Metal was, or they've heard the title but don't know what it is, can you explain for the people what that game is? Like you've talked about it a little bit, but more in depth, I guess.
Um, you just you had a selection of like starter cars, and every car was like a different sort of like cool model with like different colors. And I don't know if you could, I can't remember if you could like unlock colors, but you could choose that car, and every car came with a driver that had this like crazy background. And the goal was to play through all these levels, beat a certain number of like enemies, and um, beat these like boss battles, and then by the end of the game you unlock their story. And that was so hype. That was like the hypest thing for me. Oh my gosh. Like, oh gosh, so good. And then
Just
along the way, if you did certain things, hit certain like um checkpoints, you unlocked new cars, and you'd be like, yo, I got a new car. Now I get to unlock their story. Like, oh their gosh, so good, so nostalgic. Got me so
yes.
hyped about that game.
Just a little bit more information. You never really got out of your car. It's not like Grand Theft Auto where you got out of your car and started shooting. Your car was like this big. It was almost like a transformer almost. You had weapons from rockets and this, and you picked up other things while you're driving around. It was like the cars weren't like these fancy cars either. They were like all trashed up, like kind of like
Yeah, yeah.
all designed and had, like I said, the clown car was, I guess, one of the more notorious figures there, I would say.
Yes. That's right. And then you could unlock like the next level clown car, and
Yeah.
it had these like extra special super abilities. But yeah, you're right. Like they weren't just like fancy modeled cars.
Mm.
They were a little bit beat up. They had personality to it, and that made you like really want to figure out why they look the way they do. What's their story? There was this one character, I think Axel.
I,
He like stood up on like this platform, and he had like tires, and his arms were like attached to his like
yeah.
it was
I,
crazy. It was crazy, but it was so cool.
No, I know what you're talking about. That was a very
Such
fun
a
game.
sad story.
And one
Yeah.
of the games that I actually played that people I actually know what you're talking about. Other people mention games I'm like I've
Yes.
never played that.
Oh man, I'm so glad. Thank you.
So now you're nostalgia. You were playing this all the time with your brother. You were a PlayStation fan. Then you went to the Halo series. Got really addicted to that. So that was your first shooter, and probably your first time online. I'm guessing. Did you play online or did you just play strictly story?
I played strictly story. Yeah, I
Really?
never jumped in online.
Never went online. That is actually surprising.
I never went online. Yeah, I've always been a little bit scared to jump into the whole like online gaming, which is really ironic now. Like, look where we are. What? But back then, I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to talk to people online. I'm really scared of people on the, other places. Scary strangers.
No,
So ironic.
they would have gave you a break. They're like, "Oh, you're a girl. Don't worry. Here, have a gun. Kill me." You know?
No, I'd be like, stop that! Stop! No! No.
So you split.
That's why I like playing with my brother. Like, he could kill me without any problems. That sounds awful. Okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead.
But so you're continuing on here. You played the strictly the story. Where did you stop in the Halo series? Because I'm guessing you haven't kept up with the series as of recently. What was the last Halo game you played?
It's funny because I bought Halo 4 and Halo Reach at the same time that I bought Borderlands 2. I started Borderlands 2 first, and because it had pooped on me, I never went back to play
Oh,
the games. I bought them, and I have them actually still sitting by my Xbox, but I just,
oh man.
I should do that. I should get to that now. Now that we're talking about it, it's so funny. Um, yeah, I stopped at Halo 3.
Wow, that that's an interesting point. I think I stopped there too. Not saying I didn't like the series, but it was just bought the game and I was like, oh, this is really good. I don't know where they're gonna go with this now, and I stopped and went to PC myself, and don't have a lot of time for console games, as I'm sure you know.
Yes, it's hard, yeah.
But talking about Xbox and whatnot, before we get into your PC gaming, would you ever get like a capture card? Do you plan on streaming? I know this is jumping the gun again with the stream thing,
That's
but
fine. Yeah.
do you plan on streaming with the Xbox maybe? I mean, you want to play those games, you're really attached to the storyline. Would you do that maybe?
I was, maybe. Maybe if I absolutely run out of games that I want to play, if I'm just like doing like, you know what, I really just want to share these like Halo moments with my homies here, like maybe I would get a capture card for it. I think if I were to like go back and use a capture card for stream, it would be something for like Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. That would be a fun game to stream, Get
Yes.
people to join in and then kick some booty.
I'm a huge Smash fan. Um, I support the Smash community, and I think something super hype. And
What's your favorite Smash character since you're on that topic there?
it is funny you ask. It's actually a Squirtle.
Really?
I play Project M a lot with my IRL friends, and Squirtle is a really hard character to play because he's so spazzy and super squishy. But I'm like, you know what? I'm determined to get Squirtle places. Also because I have a sort of weird attachment to my Squirtle character because I have a I have a turtle in real life. Weird story behind that. I feel like I can never let my Squirtle die because I'm like, yo, this is like my real pet tortoise. Like, I, oh, it hits me hard. So
The background story to that, you can't just leave us hanging now. You got the turtle. Is your turtle named Squirtle? Did you get it because of Squirtle? Is that the whole reason behind it, or?
I didn't. I just think tortoises are such hilarious, like funny sort of creatures, and I was like, you know what, I really want one. So, um, on a whim, I got myself a tortoise. It's the only pet I have on my own right now. And his name is James Tiberius Kirk. I call him Tibby for short. And when I play PM competitively, Tibby is my name.
So you,
That's my gamer tag is Tibby.
so you got the Smash thing. Would you ever go into like Smash tournaments? Have you ever thought about that, or you're not
I
really a
would love to.
professional?
Man, yes. I would love to. It's really hard for me to jump into really competitive games like that because I
Okay.
get really salty.
Oh
And I feel
boy.
like salty Danny is not a fun Danny. I feel like everyone's so used to me being like so happy, and I'm like, no, I get so salty, and I get really competitive. Um, so sometimes I have to stop myself, and I'm like, oh, it's just a game. I know, like good, we're chill. So for right now, I don't play too competitively. Like when I have friends that sort of host tournaments, I'll go, I'll play a little bit, and then like that's it. And I'll go to support other, friends that play. I'm actually going out to Evo out in Vegas this actually like coming up in a month already, to support my Smash homies in, the biggest fighting game tournament out here in the States.
That's
So excited.
insane. That's pretty
So
cool.
much, so cool.
So
Yeah.
much hype there.